Bookish friends, welcome to another tag video. Today I'm going to do a tag that was very popular about a month ago, but I could find the time to do it just now. The name of the tag is very interesting, the Mookse and the Gripes Bucket List Book Tag. This tag was created by Shawn the Maniac, and it is also the name of a podcast, a bookish podcast. I'm not very into podcasts, but I will certainly try this podcast, and I will link all the information down below, as well as the original tag. And I was tagged by two booktubers, Rose at Skadi Dangling about the books, and Jim at Jim's Reading Books and Stuff. I want to thank both of them because this tag is very interesting and made me think about the books a lot. For this tag, we had to talk about 10 books that is in our bucket list, which means the books that we plan to read in our lifetime. I actually did some groupings with those books. And the first group belongs to the books and authors that I've heard because of BookTube. There are two books in this group. One of them is My Man Jeeves by P.J. Wodehouse. I did not hear about this author or this series until I started watching BookTube. Many of my friends say that it's a very funny book series, and I know the general plot of the series, and it looks like the humor that I will love. The reason that I didn't start this series could be that my expectations are a bit high, and I'm a bit hesitant to start the series, but I will do it very soon. The second book in this category belongs to an author who's actually the favorite author of Shawn the Book Maniac, and I have heard about this author from his videos. An Unsuitable Attachment by Barbara Pym. Barbara Pym seems like an author that I would like very much, since I really like the works that was written in those time period. The fact that she mostly writes about single and independent ladies makes it a bit more attractive to me as well, since I am one of them. The second category of books in my bucket list belongs to series I want to finish. Ironically, the first series that I'm going to talk about has not been finished yet, but I really want to read this series because I have watched the TV series of this series, which is A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. My brother and my father both read the books in this series up until the most recent one, of course. And they say that the books are even better than series, and I have to say I really like the series. Although the last season was a bit rushed, I actually liked how the series ended. On the other hand, because we don't know how the book series will end, I'm also very curious to read it. The reason that I didn't read it was that because I needed a bit of time until the end of series. Now I'm ready to start the series and finish it, of course. Second book in this category belongs to the last book on Hercule Poirot series by Agatha Christie, The Curtain. If I read this book, then it means that I have read all of the Hercule Poirot series, which is one of the things that I want to do very much, because as you all know, I'm a big fan of Agatha Christie, and Hercule Poirot is my favorite detective ever. That's why The Curtain especially is the book that is on this list. The third category belongs to the huge classics that I want to read. I do not have the physical copy of the first one, which is Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. I have read Crime and Punishment, and I was really impressed by his writing style. Brothers Karamazov, on the other hand, is both a murder mystery and a family drama, which is two things that I really do like in books, actually. And the only reason that I didn't start is because it is a huge book. I will definitely read this one in the future. The other two books, I have the physical copy of those books. The first one is the 4 novels of George Eliot. As it's a brick, as you see, it contains the novels Adam Bede, Middlemarch, The Mill on the Floss, and Silas Marner. Maybe it will take time, but I will certainly read this brick since I bought it. And the last book on this category is all the works of Edgar Allan Poe. I fell in love with this cover when I saw it on the internet, and I immediately ordered it. And I have read some short stories for some readathons, but I plan to read all of this book in the future. The last category belongs to the iconic Turkish books. The first one is a non-fiction one, and it's also a work written in verse belonging to the most famous poet Nazım Hikmet Ran, Memleketimden İnsan Manzaraları, and this book has been also translated to English, Landscapes from My Country. It is an epic story of the people living in Anatolia and how they behave. And even though I'm not a big fan of poetry, I really want to read this poetic work. The second book on this category belongs to Yaşar Kemal and his iconic work İnce Mehmet, which is translated to English Mehmet My Hawk. I have plans to read this book in 2022, and my father actually said if you have not read any book from Yaşar Kemal, you miss a very important part of Turkish literature, and what he said affected me a lot, so that's why I put his very famous work in next year's TBR. The last book on the list is Nutuk by Mustafa Kemal Ataturk. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk is the founder of our Turkish Republic, and he wrote his memoir in which he tells what happened in the independence war, and as well as the first years of the Republic. He actually read all of this work in the Senate on the 10th anniversary of the foundation of the Turkish Republic. I've tried to read this as a teenager, but it was a bit hard to read. But I plan to buy a very fancy copy of it and put it on my library, so that it would be a book that I would give it to my nephews, because it's very important to remember what we went through in those times, and also remember the thoughts of this great man. If I can live as a free, independent woman and speak my language today, it's because of this great man, and I owe so much to him. So those were the 10 books on my bucket list. Thank you, Shawn, for creating this tag, because as I've said before, it made me think about many things, about the books that I want to read. And also, of course, I want to thank Rose and Jim for tagging me. I will not tag anybody because this tag has been going on for a very long time. But if you're interested in doing this tag, consider yourselves tagged, and please let me know if you have done it, because I love watching this tag. It's a great tag to find out about the booktuber, actually. If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye! As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose bucket. Bucket means kova in Turkish, and kova is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day!